once again, we'll welcome you in our midst. And then, let's just have a great time with you. And then just tell us a little bit about yourself. And we're so sorry about what happened earlier on.
Well, as you said, my name is Babajide Moronfulu. Um, I'm a journalist. I'm a broadcaster, journalist, um, a communicator generally. When you talk about a communicator in all aspects of communication, that's where I'm involved. I'm involved in print production. I'm involved in sound. I'm involved in film production. I'm a scriptwriter. I'm an advertising professional. I was former president of Voiceover Artists of Nigeria. That shows that I'm a voiceover artist. I work with many advertising agencies in Nigeria, and now I'm also a healthcare practitioner. Yes, so because that's where the whole world is tilting to now, is tilting to healthcare. So I'm a healthcare practitioner. I'm a certified healthcare practitioner in Canada. Um, and I don't know how God does it in most of in every field. I find myself at any particular time. It's not that I try to work, to get an award, but I just find myself in in that closet where at the end of the day they will honor me. So I've been honored with Nigeria Media Merit Award for Radio Production of the Year. That was in 2007, 2008. Um, I had a radio program then. It's a Yoruba radio program, but it's literature on radio. We were reading Yoruba literature books on
Mm,
radio. So we called it Tenny Tenny. It was on Radio Lagos and also Sunshine FM and Korea at the same time, and also BCUS Radio. So it was a multicast, and the program was sponsored by one of the big names, by MTN then. So we read the book of one of our late daddies and papa in Yoruba, Baba Adebayo Faleti. His book, Wọ́n Rò Pé Wèrè Ni. And I also read another one, Ogun Awitele, just about telling about armed robbers who wrote letter to the city, and they said they are coming on so date, and later they wrote a letter that we are sorry we couldn't make it on that day.
mhm.
We were so busy, so they now came back another day to rob the whole city. So uh, it got the whole country, and they said, what kind of production is this? So I won the one of the best three in Nigeria then. So the following year, I won the best television production of the year all over Nigeria, all the TV stations all over Nigeria. I won the best, and that was for my documentary, Alive and Well with HIV. That was when HIV was so prevalent in Nigeria and all over the world. So the documentary was strong, and it was in English, it was in Hausa, and it was in Yoruba. So it won an award across board. Um, and in Canada too, just found myself in healthcare, and in 2022, I was shocked when I got a letter from the president of Bayshore Healthcare that I need to visit the office for an important meeting. I was shocked. In fact, if you see the way I drove to the office, I say, this is Wahala. Maybe I've done something wrong. And I got there, I saw executive directors, all of them all waiting. I got there, I was like a king. And I said, what's up going on? They said, Baba, we have an award. And the last time we had this kind of an award was 3 years ago. So, and we've been finding it very difficult to get someone to win the award. But you just came from the blues, and we're honoring you with the best caregiver of the year, 2022.
Wow. That's amazing. I'm sure
Yeah.
that must have really got you really proud of yourself. Wow.
Yes, I was blushing.
I know that's a big deal. That's a big deal. That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Like I
Mm.
said before, in my introduction, that it just shows how much of your dedication, in what you're doing. And you just proved me right.
Mm.
All right,
Mm.
so let's get into it. All right, so thank you for sharing those intro about yourself with me. I appreciate it, and my audience as well. So really, so tonight we want to talk about the book. because I
Yes.
see that the book is really like an inspiration, and what actually even made you come up with with the title of the with the topic?
Ageless living.
Yes.
Okay. I came into Canada in 2019, and I went straight into healthcare. Though I did some other jobs, but later I went into healthcare. And what prompted that was I look at myself as a journalist, and I said, okay, I tried working in some radio stations and TV station here. Oh, and I found out that uh, there are so much problems, getting their certification. You know how Canada is. And I said, man, with my age, I can't go back to school and start learning all these things again just because I want to work in a radio or TV. And don't forgetting that the whole world is now global in terms of the social media and everything. So I just said I don't actually need them. They need me. They need me. So I got introduced to a guy. He was a producer on radio, and the guy interviewed me and was saying, "What's your specialty?" And I said, "How do you mean?" He said, "No, if you are working in radio, it's either you are a presenter, you are a scriptwriter." I said, "I do everything." He said, "No, you can't do everything." I said, "No, no, as I'm standing in front of you with my phone, I'll bring you some of my works and I'll begin to show you that I write. I'm a scriptwriter for radio. I do radio drama." He said, "You do radio drama?" I said, "As I'm standing in front of you, I'll write a radio drama script for you now as we are standing." The guy just looked and said, "This guy must be crazy." Just so the guy has said, "I can't work with this guy." And I said, "Yes, he can work with him because if I work in the same radio station where he works, they will sack him."
Hmm.
No, they'll sack him. I'm telling you. So anyway, I just left. Now I met that just by the way, when got into healthcare, I ran into one of my clients and the man likes me so much. So anytime I go there, I do nothing. We just sit down, we talk about life and everything. So the man keeps telling me, say, "Papa, I like you. But you know what? I want you to work smart. Don't work too hard." So okay. And that was the first time I was hearing that word. So then, one of our discussion again, he now said, "Papa, it's very difficult to get old. Managing old age is very difficult." I said, "Yes, I can see. And that's why I'm here." Now say, "You know what? Don't die old. I want you to die young."
Hmm.
So he kept saying, say, "Papa, don't die old," because they call me Baba. They can't pronounce Babaji, so it's too long for them, so they call me Baba. So, um, "Baba, don't die old, die young." So I keep asking, "What do you mean, sir?" He now said, "To die young means even when you are old, your bones will still be young. You still
Hmm.
be active. You still be able to do some things." So I got home and wrote it down. I finished my program with him. I had another client. It was similar. The things the client was telling me just about what the first client. I got
Hmm.
another client, the same thing. And I said to myself that if something is reoccurring like this, then that
Hmm.
means God wants me to do something about it. So
Hmm.
that was when I started writing about this book. That was in 2020. And I said, "Okay, let me be jotting some things." And that was COVID. So during the COVID, I was not going anywhere. I was not working. So I was at home. I was jotting down, but a lot of distractions came. I just left it, go back to it, write it. Things are going back and forth. So
Hmm.
at a point, I now met an 80-year-old client, and I've been working for him with him for about a year or so. And he now said, "Baba, you know what?" I said, "Yeah, I want you to write a book on me, a memoir. I want to tell people my stories, my grandchildren, so that even when I go, I still want them to read about me. I know you can do it." And our profession, you are not allowed to do things, stuff like that. Yeah,
Hmm.
it's like taking advantage of the client and everything. Then even if you want to do that, you need to tell your agency, or you need to tell the children. You need to get a lawyer. So, and I didn't want to go through all that. So I was just telling the man that, okay, don't worry, I will do it. Now, in about 2 weeks, it was the passing of the man. I never knew he was going to pass. So the daughter came, and he had, some complications. So the first daughter came, and he said, "Papa, come. My dad said this, and this. How come? Why don't you write it? We like it. The family will support you. What do you want money to do this?" And I said, "No." I said, "No, no, no. Go and get your lawyer so that we can." So, and I met with one doctor, a Ghanaian doctor. I spoke with him. He now said, okay, he now gave me, what to do, the ways to go about it. I also met a nurse in one of the retirement homes. She also gave me, the guidelines on how to do it. I said, I've never seen any PSW do something like this, but if you are doing it, you have to go through this so that you won't run into problems. Canada, everything is law. So as we were preparing all this, I just got a phone call in the night of a Friday, and it was the nurse, and he said, "Baba, hi, how are you? Do you have this guy tomorrow?" I said, "Yes, tomorrow morning I should be there." And I said, "Don't bother to go." I said, "What? What's the problem?" He said, "He passed on."
Oh, wow.
Wow. And the man died, just like the book of Professor Wale Soyinka. So the man died. So I felt bad. The first daughter said, "Baba, you are slow about this thing. I told you." I said, "We needed it. Now he's gone. How do we get him to talk?" I felt bad for myself. And I said, okay, I'm going to do something. I'm going to write about this. So that was when I now got serious. I called my son, I called my family. My son is into IT, and I said, "Well, let me come. You're going to help me. I want to do this thing." He said, "Daddy, you are not serious." Because I've told them all the bad. He said, "But if you say this today, tomorrow you say another." He said, "Because you don't understand what's going on." So that was how I started. And by the grace of God, December last year, 2024, I finished everything as regards the book, and by January 18th this year, the book came out. So when the book was out, then I was not saddled with the right title. So I now begin to, what are the keywords that we use that will go globally and everything. That was when I now, normally I tell people, I say, it's not me, it's the Holy Spirit. You should just come. Whatever I'm thinking, if I'm writing the script, and there is a blockage somewhere, I'll just sleep and forget about it. The Holy Spirit will just bring it. So as I slept and I woke up and I said, yes, I got the title. The title said, Ageless Living. Unlock the secret to staying young as you grow. That's the title. So here
Amazing.
we are. Yeah,
Amazing. 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 Can you see that? Look at how wonderful God works. Eh?
yeah,
That's good. That's good. So for you personally, it's a different thing when people write books. And then most times when people write books, like it has to do with their own personal experience. And I understand that, like, I'm sure you must have relate the story with your own personal experience, and then also,
yeah,
like, with a little bit of some things that you've learned from the man that passed away. So
yes.
my question for you is that, personally, like, how do you actually even maintain a youthful mindset, despite the passing of age and time?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. It's so simple, but I can tell you that we are all guilty of something, and that thing is, number one, we all want to age, we want to grow, we want to, we mark our birthday each year, every year, all of us, except for those who are born in leap year. So we mark our birthday and all those things. So, but at the same time, we want to maintain uh, 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 what should I use? We want to be younger, as we grow. And that is why you see ladies just like you, in those days when we were growing up, they called it, they say sweet 16. They tell us that every lady is 16-year old. Even when it starts, you say, I'm 16, sweet 16 and everything. So that's just the philosophy of life. That's the way we want to do things right now. But the reality of it is that you will get old no matter how.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there are some things you need to do to get younger even as you grow. That is what the book is all about. Unlock the secrets of staying young even as you grow. You understand? So there are some secrets. So the book is in between getting young and getting old. So you find the book in between. You understand? That is where this book comes in between getting young and getting old. So, what are the things you need to do? Some of the things are very simple. Your thinking. How
Mm-hmm.
do you think? Some people will say, no, 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 don't talk to me. I'm too old for that.
Mm-hmm.
Because you confessed it that you are too old. Excuse me, you will be too old.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
When you are about to do something or you are supposed to do something for yourself, maybe you need to shower. You know, some old men, at times when I go to help some of my clients, for shower or anything, they'll tell me, Baba, you know what, just stand. I will do the shower myself. If I need help, I'll call you. I said, that's the way to go. That is the man who wants to be younger. So they'll do it themselves. But in case they fall, so I'll just be there to guide. So, but if you are someone who likes people to do everything for you want people to drive you want people to cook for you every time. Our parents in those days, they will sit down and the cup is very close to them. We are in the room and they will now call Jide, you say, sir, one for me cup we. And the cup is just at arm's length. He can pick it himself, but he will still call you from the room and you will not get up. Well, yes, here I am. That's a bring me cup. And I say, look at this man. How can't he pick this cup? The cup is in front of him.
Mm-hmm.
But what they tell us that, that is the beauty of fatherhood, that would
Mm-hmm.
have children. That is the beauty. But I can tell you now, I know that it's not the beauty of having children. No, it's
Mm-hmm.
laziness. I'm
Mm-hmm.
telling you, it's laziness. A lot of things you need to do for yourself. You say, no, they need to do it for me and all those things and everything. So it makes you very weak. Then there are some things that also will also help you socializing. Now, when you say socializing, people believe that it's like you don't know what you are doing. You are wasting your time. Some people, do you know why they go to parties? They just want to dance, meet people, laugh, and it is not because of food. They are
Mm-hmm.
not attending that party because of food, though. You think
Mm-hmm.
because of food. But at the same time, you will think it's because of food, but it's not. Because when you give them, if you don't treat them well, like if you give other people food, in another thing you don't give them, no, you see their wahala.
Mm-hmm.
But excuse me, it is in the work of. Have you ever asked yourself, why do we normally have wastages at parties? Wastages of food at parties. Have you ever thought about it?
Mm-hmm.
If you go to the kitchen of any party, you see a lot of wastages.
Mm-hmm.
You see a lot of wastage. You know why? It's because people didn't attend that party because of food. No,
Mm-hmm.
not because of food. They are attending the party because they want to enjoy. They want to express themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Dance away their sorrow that I used to say. Dance away your sorrow and everything. And by the time you do that, when they get back home, and they feel like, I'm happy. I saw my friend. I did this. That thing, helps their growth, helps their thinking, revitalizes them, their energy and everything. Again, if you call them, I was speaking a week ago. I was speaking to a woman who just retired, and I said, I'm going to Nigeria for a while, about 2 or 3 months. And I said, what will you be doing in Nigeria? I said, party me, party to one. The party, yeah, one week after the other, just be attending party, enjoy myself and everything. So that is socializing. Then religion, when we attend church programs, redemption camp, when people go to redemption camp in Lagos, you see everybody shouting, doing everything. Excuse me, is helping people. They will listen to the man of God. They will preach to them. They will say some things to them. They will encourage them to pray about things. There are some things they are thinking about that is weighing them down, that is causing depression. By the time they speak, by the time they preach some words, from the Bible or from the Quran or from their religious books and begin to encourage them and all this thing, it will take away all this depression and replace it with something positive in life. And they will begin to have positive mental attitude. Because a lot of people don't know that you need to have positive mental attitude. And one thing about I like about religion all over the world is that religion is positive. Religion will tell you, don't worry about this. Okay, your friend bought a house. Okay, and you are a tenant. The religion will tell you the reason why you don't need to envy that friend. That
Mhm.
in fact you might be better than that friend who has a house as a tenant and all those things. But
Mhm.
normally, if Jide comes to you and tell you this, you won't believe me. But you
Mhm.
say, this is my pastor telling me this. And you know
Mhm.
that if you say some things, it will come to fruition. And you say, okay, I believe the pastor and all this. So this also helps us in our lives. We do exercises, yoga, which is spiritual meditation. Some people undermine the effectiveness of spiritual meditation, which is yoga. Just be on your own, do exercises, think positively, look at this. You get solutions to a lot of. I do it a lot. I do it a lot when I'm on my own. There's some people believe that in 24 hours, you have to be working in 24 hours. No, you don't do that. There should be time for you, even if it's 30 minutes, just be by yourself. Think
Mhm.
about things. Don't be negative. Think about positive things in life. Things you think you can do. Be positive. Then also believe that if you need something and you try as much as possible to get it and it's not forthcoming, forget about it. Just move on with life. And
Mhm.
don't overdo things in life. There are a
Mhm.
lot of people they overdo things, and when they overdo things, it now overwhelm them, and they now begin to have other mindset in terms of thinking of suicide and everything, or things like that. Even men and women, the husband and wife, there are a lot of things you also need to consider in relationship and everything. For men, women, there's someone who said that women, I'm sorry to say this, that women, that the way women think is different from the way men think. At times, women, they think of God, they do things of God. They may be happy today, tomorrow morning, you wake up and find them they are in another spirit. But for a man, who now say, you doing like that, and you now begin to beat your wife, you're just wasting your time. Because if you divorce that woman, go and marry another woman, you'll be shocked that your wife that you divorced may be better than the new one. So why are you why are you having problems? So you don't need to have that kind of problem. When your woman does things like that, and you don't like it, just pick up your shirt, go out. And when you are out, maybe after about an hour, hello babe, hi, how are you? Sorry for what happened. You are not wrong. She was
Mhm.
at fault, but still apologize. So when you begin to understand some of all these things, you won't have problems in life. Now I'll tell you a story quickly, a story of one Ijebu man, and they said the wife is a very nagging woman.
Mhm.
But this one doesn't complain. But this one will leave home, go and play with his friends, and when he comes back, the wife will be nagging and everything. But he will give the man the food, though. The man will eat food. While eating the food, the woman will be nagging. Hey, all these things. I asked you to give me this. You didn't do this. Even the children are saying, mommy's wahala is too much. You will kill this man. The man will not say anything. So at a point, the family now said, this woman will kill this man. Oh. They now say, maybe because this man did not marry another wife. So they now got a younger girl to marry this man. So that we believe that at least this woman will now, you know, will now simmer down with all these things she's doing, that she will now have a competitor in the home. So the young lady came in, but the woman continued. She was still doing the same thing. And I said, what is the solution? Anyway, to cut the long story short, this man died. And when this man died, everybody began to cry. But this woman, the first wife, cry was the most. She was crying for days. And they said, Mama, you cry to the extent that your eyes, you get blind and everything. But at the end of the day, they not say, Mama, but why are you crying? Everybody have stopped crying. Now we've done the burial. Everybody have gone home. You are still crying. What is it? Said, I have just lost the only man that can tolerate me in this world. Said that it was the only man that can. I know my problems, and he knows my problems. And people don't know that we know ourselves. But that's the only man that can tolerate me. And I was thinking I was going to die before him. I never knew he would die before me. That's the short story
Hmm.
about how life is.
Wow. Wow. That's
Mhm.
amazing. Wow. Wow. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing that with us. I actually agree with you because, in most times, right, it is always very important that people, in terms of aging, just like you said in your book as well, too, that it's not about just reading the numbers that, oh, this year is my year, I'm getting
Yeah,
old and all that. Like, that it's not really about that, but
yeah,
just the fact that, your mental mind, how you're growing, the kind of mindset that you carry, the kind of attitude, the kind of habit that you carry, all that matters a lot into the perspective of, aging as an individual. And
yeah,
like you mentioned, like, quite, like, I know it's from your book, but, like, just in general, like, you have, like, very important point that, it can actually be utilized, and then, can actually, uplift and help people to, like, get a better understanding and a better knowledge, of
yes.
even knowing who they are, as individual, and also by embracing it as well. Wow. So thank you for sharing that. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. So now my quick question for you is this: how has the approach to life itself changed as you grow older?
Um, well, approach to life is just be simple about life. Once you believe that, um, um, William Shakespeare said said, "Cowards die many times before their death. A valiant never tastes of death but once. Seeing the death is a necessary end. It will come when it will come."
Mm-hmm.
So once you have that in mind, you don't have any problem. Everybody is going to die one day. So as you age, you know that yes, age. I have to age
Mm-hmm.
every year. I need to grow old. I need to do these things.
Mm-hmm.
But what drives people is what I want to achieve.
Mm-hmm.
I am old. I am 50. I have not achieved this. Those are the
Mm-hmm.
driving forces that make people to crash in that journey. It's a
Mm-hmm.
long journey. It's like traveling
Yes.
from the US to Canada on Highway 401. You know there are a lot of stop signs on the way, and you need to obey all these stop signs. So when you don't obey all these stop signs, that is when you now crash. You
Mm-hmm.
can be pulled over by the police. You could have an accident. Your car could develop a fault or everything.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of things goes along the way. But if you obey all these things, you know where you need to park. Okay, let me rest. I've driven for about 2 hours. Let me stay somewhere and relax, stretching my bones and everything. Maybe
Mm-hmm.
eat something or have some drink. You relax, you look at your car, everything is okay. You drive another 2 or 3 hours, you do same. By the time, you won't know by the time you get to where you are going. But for someone who never did all this, that was just left US and was just driving, I need to get to Canada in 7 hours. In fact, even in 6 hours, I want to get to Canada.
Mm-hmm.
And just driving. A lot of things could happen on the way. So that is how life is. It's a journey. That's why they call it journey of life. So we have to be very careful. And whatever you try to attain and you don't get it, my sister, my brother, people watching me, leave it. Just move on. Some
Mm-hmm.
people believe that everybody is going to build a house. No, it is impossible. It is impossible.
Mm-hmm.
Like we used to say, it is impossible. It's not about I have to build a house. I mean, even children. It's not everybody that will have children. It's not everybody that will have husband. It's not everybody that will have wives. You understand? So once you have all these things in your mind, but your own is just do the best you can in everything. When it is time for you to do a particular thing in life, that was the time we were born. That was the time they were teaching us how to walk. You
Mhm.
understand? So, and after that, we went to nursery school. After that, we went to primary school. So later, secondary school. And in those days when we were growing up, they were giving some people double promotion. I
Mhm.
remember one of my classmates, they gave her double promotion to the extent that she finished before us. Way back, we were still in the secondary school. She was already in the university. She came out to be the worst lady I've ever known in on earth. Because by the time she got to the university, she was too young. She was in the class with those who are much more older, and she was
Mhm.
not supposed to be in that class. So the um what do they call it? The promotion, double promotion that they were giving her was not good after all. You
Mhm.
understand? So
Yeah.
there's no double promotion in life. Don't do double promotion that I want to skip. I want to do this thing. I want to
Mhm.
shunt. People are on the line on the queue. Here we do. We even go to Timothy's, you be on the queue. You
Mhm.
now come from the rear. You now go to the front. People say, "Excuse me, what is wrong with you? What's your problem?" Even when you are driving and
Mhm.
you just come brrr, and they say even the police will pull you over. Where are you going? Are you going to heaven? So everything in life, there's a way you approach it. And once you do that, you won't have any problems. Excuse me, you won't have any problems.
Mhm.
I was shocked. The Pope Francis, when they were talking about Pope Francis, and he said, and I read somewhere in a blog, and he said, all the money Pope Francis had in this world, do you know what happened? He said, I donate it to the prisoners. Okay, Lobato, that's it. All
Mhm.
the money had in this world donated to the prisoners.
Mhm.
I was reading something about Bill Gates. He was also talking about his wealth,
Mhm.
that was what going to do with all the wealth. And I know that some people will be talking about, I want to be like Bill Gates, so that I have money and everything. Excuse me, money is like food. You are hungry.
Mhm.
You are hungry, you want to eat. And now get to mama put. And now say, give me rice,
Mhm.
$20. Give me amala. Everything together. You place your order based on your hunger.
Yes.
So you now have the food, you now look at it, you now begin to eat. At a point, you are full.
Mhm.
You cannot finish the food. That
Mhm.
is wastage. That's
Mhm.
life. And if you dare to finish it, you have problems in your stomach. If you
Mhm.
are not careful, you get to the hospital. If you are not careful, you get a lot of complications and
Mhm.
everything. That's how life is. So just take it, jeje. Just take it, jeje. Just be moving on. So as you grow, everything will come. There are some. For example, I don't know if you know late Fatai Rolling Dollar. Do you know
Mhm.
Fatai Rolling Dollar, musician, Nigerian musician?
Mhm.
Is late now. He sang this song, One Kere Si Number. One Kere Si Number wa. One
Mhm.
Kere Si Number wa. One Kere Si Number Baba. Ọmọdé wọ̀nyí Kere Si Number wa. Baba Rolling Dollar used to be the boss of Chief Commander Ebenezer Obi. He trained Chief Commander. Ebenezer Obi played the maracas behind Fatai Rolling Dollar for 9 years as a band boy. Do you know that this man, it was raining in his time, and at a point in time, everything went down. He
Mhm.
used to play at Stadium Hotel in Lagos. He told me, he said, Jide, look at this Stadium Hotel. I used to play here. When I play here, people will come. The stadium will be filled up. Baba Rolling Dollar, before his death, he went back to that stadium to become a security guard.
Mhm.
But as God will have it, things changed again. He bounced back to life. He had money again. People came towards him. They helped him. They assisted him. I know I interviewed him about twice on my TV show on LTV, and people came, supported him, and everything. But before the end of his life, at least he was happy and everything. They gave him house. They did everything for him. But he told me, he said, Jide, if it was one Allah that has been praying, we say, I'm the one behind the success. I'm the only. Said Jide take life very, very easy. That's what she told me. And I kept on saying, Jide take life very, very easy. There are some things you need to do. They called one man Joseph Friday. He used to sing Bolojo song. And when Baba Rolling Dollar was raining again, Joseph Friday now called Baba. I was there at Stadium Hotel. He now said, Baba, báwo lè ṣe ṣe? How did you do it? You were up there, you went down, you are back again. He now said, Josie, uh, see me at home. So we talk about it. So when Joseph Friday left, he now said, Jide, you know what? He said, when the down came, Joseph Friday left us. He left us when we were down. But
Mm,
we were there. We were still playing the music, even when things were not okay. We were
mm,
still playing music, we were still doing it, we were not making money, but we were focused, we were doing everything. And when God decided to bless us, God now came in miraculous to bless us. Now he's envying me.
mm.
Now he's envying me. So that's how life is. You don't need to envy anybody. You don't need to think about, okay, this one. If you ask it, okay, God, you do my own and everything, then you move on with life. You don't have any issues. That's how life is.
Mhm. Wow, amazing. Wow, wow, wow.
Mm.
This has been really, really wonderful because you've shared so much story, and then in a short way, like there's a way you've captured, like you just cap everything, and
Yes.
I'm so grateful for that. So like
Yes.
there's another last question that I'm gonna be asking you, which is gonna be, so in what way personally, in what way as aging surprised you? It could be negative, it could be positive, like this is your own personal, your own
That's
personal
true.
experience.
Ah, ages surprised me. I discovered that there are some things I used to do last year. I don't have the strength to do them anymore. You
Mhm,
understand? I remember when I started this job about 5 years ago, and the national Baba, we have problems in Niagara, and we need someone to go to Niagara to help us. And everybody was rejecting the job. And I said,
mhm,
don't worry, I'll go there. And I went to Niagara, and I was dealing with about 15 clients a day. In about 3 days, I did about 50 clients, and I was still strong
mhm,
doing everything. I drove to Niagara, and when I got to Niagara, I was driving from one house to the other. Some 5 kilometers, Niagara, Welland,
mhm,
Fort, all everywhere around us, St. Catherine, and I was everywhere. In fact, they called the office. They said, "What kind of guy is this? This guy is everywhere. He walks like Jacka and everything." But excuse me, I can't walk like a Jacka anymore.
mhm,
I can't work like a jacka anymore. I know that I need to slow down. I need to slow down. I'm 58 now. I'll be 60 very soon. So I know I need to slow down. I need to think things hard, softly, gently. So that's one thing that dawns on me, and it has begun to shape my life. That okay, these are the things I need to do. Do you know that there are some things I wrote in this book that I've forgotten that I was the one that wrote them. So for me, I'm telling you, I'm serious. I wrote
mhm,
them and I asked myself, say, how come when did I write all these things?
mhm,
Because there are some things I encounter in life. I said, let me go back to my book and now begin to read myself. So
mhm,
this book it's a body on its own. I am another person. Though
mhm,
my name is there as a writer, but the book is separate and I am separate. So when I run into anything as regards aging, I go back to the book and I read. I go to the chapter
mhm.
I read. It's like a Bible
Amazing.
of aging to me. I go back and read and I said, okay. Then apart from that, I have a blog by Babacare, www.babacare.com. Every day I write about wellness, health, and everything every day. I
Mhm,
do that. So when I write too, I also digest it. So people go there, read my blog and everything about health and things like that. But at the same time, it's also a lesson for me. And it has been helping me. You know, um, there are some things, I've been taking some fruits, some juice these days and everything. And people say, come. your big belly is coming down now. I said, okay, because I wrote about it. So, and I said, okay, this is what I wrote. So why not let me work it? No, I'm telling you, this thing is working for me. This is the work on. So when you see us write about this thing, when we see us say about these things, I want people to just to take it seriously. And before we go, I must be thankful to a marketing company in the United States. They got in touch with one of my friends and they called me and they said they are interested in helping me to get my book in other 60 plus platforms. So I can tell you today, my book is in Germany, is in Italy, is in Brazil, is in the US, it's all over the world. So and I'm so excited about it. I got a call about 2 weeks ago, someone planning to take my book for an exhibition in China, and so we are still in talks and everything. I said, and look at me, I'm here. I'm here with Niniola in Canada. We are talking. And my book is going to China. So Niniola, I'm leaving here. I'm going to China. Oh. So my book is going places. So for me, it is joy for me. So when I'm sleeping, someone somewhere is reading me.
Amazing. That's the most iconic thing that someone could do.
Yes,
When just like the same thing, I'm gonna refer to the same thing that a man started with, that even when he's gone, that people
yes,
can still think about him, that people can
yes,
still remember him, because it
yes,
doesn't, like, maybe he's in the heart of his family, or maybe in the heart of his friends, or just in the heart of his loved ones. He just doesn't want to be forgotten. And then that plays a major role. And so the same thing that you are doing now, like, you're where you are, you're doing what you're doing, and the book is working on its own, it's selling on its own, like, it's
yes,
even moving faster than you can. So
yes.
just tell you, like, congratulations. I'm telling you, like, a big congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Very proud of you.
Yes,
Just keep doing what you're doing. You're an amazing person. And then the book, like, looking at it, like, I read a little bit about it out of the things that you sent to me. And I was just like, wow. I was moved myself. So I just, like, one more time, that thank you. And then keep doing the good work. The sky's the limit. There's no age limit. Just like, look at the age that you're doing it. If somebody told
yes.
you at this age you will be doing this, I'm sure you must have been like, no, 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 no. If I
No,
don't do
no,
it
no.
in my 30s, if I didn't do it in my 20s, if I didn't do it in my 40s, how am I gonna do it in my 50s? So that
Mm,
alone, like, it's an inspiration. So
yeah.
just keep going at it, keep going. And then we want to read more books from you, not just that one alone.
No, yes, you're going to read. In fact, I must tell you, I'm confused now. I'm confused because I have a lot of books and I have a lot of ideas, on what to bring out. So I'm confused on which one to bring out, because these ideas keep coming. These ideas keep coming. So which one should I do and everything, So, but I can assure you that every one I bring out is going to be a bestseller. I know I will get there. Just like Celine Dion. Celine Dion first album, it was when she released her seventh album. That was when she won Grammy. That was
Yeah.
when everybody began to notice her. That was
Yes.
when they now refer to the first album. So you are the one that sang this. So you are the one that sang this. So you
Yes.
released this, and I say, yes, this is my song. So your people will say Atasane. So those songs, those albums will now selling again. As if they were new releases. So
Mm-hmm.
that's the way I tell people who wants to write book, because this book have caused a lot of commotion. I have a client who said, Baba, you wrote a book with all this going up and down. So you are still able to write a book. I'm going to write a book. I said, I'm going to do this. I gave her guide on how to go about it, a timetable and everything. The last time I saw her was on Wednesday. I said, Madam, how far have you gone about the book? She said, Baba, it's not easy. I said, that's it. So when you go on YouTube and they tell you this thing, you go to Fiverr, you go to this, you can publish a book in 3 minutes. It is fake. Fake is called fake.
Mm.
It doesn't work like that. Excuse you can't write a book in 3 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me. This thing took me 4 years. This took me 4 years to write. They said you want to write rubbish because a lot of things goes into it. Excuse me. You're going to write a lot of things. You're going to criticize yourself. If you see the manuscript of this book, it was as big as this. But later I now begin to edit. No, I don't do this. I'm not doing this. I don't do expunge this. Before I now did the final editing and I got this. So it's a lot of work. It's a
Mhm.
lot of work doing it. So and I'm also praying to God that God should also give me the wisdom so that I'll come up with another one which will be beneficial to all and sundry.
Thank you. Thank you. So now before you go, we're gonna be rounding up now. So because our time is fast spent. So
Yep.
just give my audience, just give us a word, before you leave. And yeah.
Yes, a word of encouragement so that I'll go back to my book. I'll go back to my book. There are some quotable quotes in my book, which I want people to go and read. Number one, I said, youth is not a number. It
Mm-hmm.
is a mindset powered by curiosity, passion, and the courage to embrace change. That was said by Nelson Mandela. Another one, the secret to ageless living lies in the stories we tell ourselves about
Mm-hmm.
what is possible, not in the wrinkles on our skin. That was said by Chino Achebe. Resilience is the fountain of youth. Those who rise after every fall remain timeless. Desmond Tutu. Creativity keeps the soul young. When you create, you connect with the infinite potential of life. Professor Wale Soyinka. Age gracefully, but never stop groaning, dreaming, or daring. Kwame Nkrumah. And this last one, your legacy is not in what you leave behind, but in the lives you touch while living fully in the present. Kofi Annan. So people can go home with that. These are, food for thought, but it's a quotable quotes. It's in my book, page 251 of my book. You find a lot of quotable quotes, and you can use some of these things as your mantra. I read them and I use them as a mantra, and it's been helping me. And I hope it also help other people there.
Wow. Thank you very, very much. That's wonderful. Like that's amazing. I love those quote. Like, they're very beautiful, they're very inspiring, especially like, the last one, like,
Yes, yes,
that's really, really,
yes,
really amazing. And also most importantly, like, like you said, like we just have to keep dreaming, keep dreaming. Don't
yeah,
put off your dreams, don't let age define, the ability
yes.
lies within you, so yeah, so thank you very, very much. I appreciate it so much. Thank
I
you so much.
appreciate you too. I thank you so much. Well, we've never met, but you just gave me a call, and even up till now, I said, "Who is the referrer? Who referred me and everything?" You didn't tell me, but whoever must have told you about me, I express my gratitude uh, to them. Thank you so much. And that's another thing I'm writing on gratitude. Because gratitude also helps lives. So that's another book I'm working on, gratitude. So this is my gratification for everybody there. And for those who have read my book, thank you so much. For those who have not read, I also thank you because I know that one day you will get to read about the book and you will pray for me that, okay, who must have written this book, I've done so much well. And on the last note, one of my friends, Professor Akim Olabi, he told me this 3 days ago. He said he walked into Radio Nigeria Lagos and he was about to do his normal program. And he saw young guys, they were discussing, and I said they are planning to review a book. And then they said, hey, a book? And they said, look at this book. They said, this book? He said, hey, it's written by, I said, this man, he has never been to Nigeria before. And he's a Yoruba man. He lives in Canada. We want to review his book, but we want to send a mail to him if you allow us to read the book. And I said, Jude is my friend. You now begin to show them pictures. Yeah, we were together at Audition Television on Star Times and everything. We did a lot of programs together. And I said, okay, go and review the book. Don't worry. If you see me, you see Jide. That gives me that kind of joy and everything. And
Mhm.
even to some of my friends in channels, television and radio stations in Nigeria, and Brosho Mide, all of them, Yemi Shodimo. all of my colleagues, my senior colleagues, my they've showed their support for this book, and encouragement too. So Shemori Badejo too, and all of them. So I can't mention too many names, but it's an opportunity for me, and I think I need to grab it. You know, and also thank you, Niniola, for doing this. Akim Ogunlade is also there in Canada. He interviewed me once. I also appreciate. That shows that you really understand. We have like minds. We understand what we are doing, and as we do so, God will bless us with the mighty name of Jesus.
Amen. Thank you.
Mm,
Thank you. I
mm,
appreciate it
mm.
so much. Thank you. Wow, everyone. Wow, wow, wow. That was amazing. That was beautiful. I just want to say thank you to each and everyone that started with us. And then, once again, um, thank you everyone for being here with us, for joining us, for our consistent members, our consistent audience. I just want to say a very big thank you to each and every one of you. So, for some of you who are wondering where you can actually get the book is on Amazon, Ageless Living. It's an amazing book. I'm going to encourage each and every one of you to go read the book. You're not going to go wrong. There's something that you're going to learn from it, one way or the other. So I encourage you, buy the book, and then the link for it, if you're not sure exactly, the link is going to be posted under the video on YouTube. So please, 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 watch it. I mean, go read the book, be inspired, just keep going and going and going. The best is yet to come, like I've always said. Look at him at 50 something. That's when things begin to turn around. So you're never too young, like I've always said on the show. You're never too young, you're never too old. You can always start at any given time and things will work for you. So, don't let anyone limit you. Don't let anyone limit your dream. You yourself, don't limit yourself. Don't limit your dream to possibilities of things that you can do, that you can achieve in your life. So I just want to say thank you, everyone. And I will see you next week. Next week is going to be another amazing time. I'm super excited for our guest who is coming. It's going to be, oh my goodness, I can't wait to have him. We're going to be live together. So I want you all to just please come, 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 come. Let's have a good time as well next week. And I will see you. And I'll remain the host, of the speaker show, Nini Olafatai. And I'll see you next week. Thank you once again for joining the speaker show. Have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful evening. And I see you next week.